Hey, and good evening, and welcome to another episode of Loving Black with Tory and Teri, and we're thankful for you guys for tuning in again tonight.
I'm thankful that it's Friday. You guys know this is my favorite day, and I hope you had a fabulous week. We're ready to go in.
Yeah, we are. Hey, as you know, this month we've been featuring power couples that are making impacts in their community. As we round out this month, though, this last power couple has not only been impactful, but they've been chugging along full steam ahead in new endeavors.
Yes, we are so proud to say that as impactful as they are, we're just going to jump right in because we really want you to. I'm excited. I'm really excited about our folks. We have our folks with us tonight, so I'm excited. We're going to jump right in.
Yeah. So the husband of this dynamic duo is Kensel Joseph. He's considered a serial entrepreneur by friends and family because of his success in establishing 5 businesses before the age of 35.
Did you hear that? I want you to catch that. 5 businesses before the age of 35. Y'all don't want it. Okay. And my girl Val. Oh, my girl Val. She and I mean, she's amazing. So I don't want to go any further. We're just gonna go ahead and get them here. But she's a change agent. I'll give you a peek at that. She's a change agent. So our business has kind of our lives have kind of transformed. We've done some things, didn't know each other, but we've both done some of the same things. So it's very exciting to have them here. And we're going to introduce all of that and roll it out to you.
So we'll be right back out of this commercial break, and we'll jump right into their love story.
Don't go away.
Welcome back to Loving Black with Tory and Teri. Hey, remember, if you want to be a guest, advertiser, or just want a question answered on our show, don't forget to email us at lovingblack1@gmail.com, and we'll get your promos going and we'll get your letters read.
Okay, so y'all ready? I wish I had a drum. I gotta get a drum roll, right? We are so excited to introduce our guests. We have here with you. We want to welcome. So put your hands together. I know you're at home. Put your hands together so we can welcome Teri.
Not much.
Hi. Oh my God,
y'all.
the stars and the sparks are just, I can see them. They're just illuminating.
Yeah.
Wow.
So first of all, thank you guys for coming on. And especially, almost not that it was last minute, but my wife saw your profile on IG, I believe it was.
No. It was we were in Voyage magazine.
Okay.
And so then I saw you and I hit our assistant up. I was like, call her now. Because there were so many things that we had in common. So as I'm reading, I'm like just super excited. And so I thought, oh gosh, okay, so what does he do? If she's this, what is he, right? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was excited. So I was glad when you accepted.
Well, I'm so thankful. Thank you for having us here.
It's like you're like her long lost sister.
I know. Like, there's somebody else living the same life. We must talk.
Yeah, we obviously have the same passionate pursuits in our lives.
Yes.
Sewing,
a heart for sewing.
He's a superstar though. I'm his sidekick though. Like yeah.
Right. Well, just help me. That Proverb 31. Right. The Ruby's girl. The Ruby.
Absolutely.
Come on now, Kensel.
The serial.
He's so mild mannered and he's such a power ball. You guys, you don't even know.
What's funny is that when she was telling us, because you weren't able to do our initial call,
right?
And when she was telling us about you, and then I was like, man, super serial entrepreneur here, and she said, yeah, that's what they call her, right?
5 successful business before the age of 35. What?
Yeah. What were your initial 5? Because you're working on a couple other things we're gonna get into.
Well, we started with transportation, and we started with the cattle, and then real estate, and then real estate popped up into different segments of the real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I
I'm
started.
kind of interested in the cattle stuff.
I thought that was hot. I was like, okay.
I love me some oxtail.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's some real man style,
Right.
stuff.
Well, yeah. I think the whole brainchild of that was just to save some money, though. Have our own beef, right?
Yeah,
and so,
These
yeah.
cows in the backyard.
Yeah.
How
So
come we just can't
phenomenal.
use these, right?
We're talking about out of the box thinking. Okay, but let me just, so I digress. Let's just do this real quick. You guys know I do my rapid fire rides. I picked out my rapid fire for my girls, so we can ready to go in. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
She won't let us participate.
No, you guys,
Ah.
because he always messes it up,
I don't mess it up.
Yeah, but he just always gets involved.
I correct her.
Okay. No.
They don't like that.
Okay, you ready, sis? Okay, right here. Don't, no
Gotcha.
peanut gallery, just us.
There we go.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. Apple or Android?
Apple.
Okay. Corporate America or entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship.
Agriculture or public policy?
Oh, agriculture.
Okay.
That seems like a toughie.
Yeah, I know there's toughies, but we can handle it. Hugs or mask?
Hugs.
I know. Okay. Healthcare or education?
Hmm,
I know.
that is a tough one.
I know.
Okay.
See, that's what happens when you do both.
I know. Okay.
It's just for today. It's just a game, baby.
Healthcare, because
Okay.
you know what? I can't get good education.
Yeah,
I'm not
right.
even
You
my
can't do
good
nothing.
mind
You ain't
frame.
right. There you go.
Gotta
There you
get
go.
your
That's how you
mental
get right.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Volunteer or mentor?
That's both of the same. But you know what? A mentor.
Okay.
We
yes.
need- we all need
Lifelong.
guidance.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. These get a little easier, but there is a last one. Squad or solo?
Squad.
Okay. Last but not least, this is fun. ATL Housewives or Queen Sugar?
Queen Sugar.
It's a Louisiana thing.
Yeah.
You got it. You feel me? Yes. See, rapid fire's fun.
Yes,
definitely.
absolutely.
I love going in and doing the research of who we're gonna have because I tailor it to them. So that's my thing. Girl. That's that rapid fire.
I love
Thank
it.
you guys. Thank you. They were such gentlemen, weren't they? Guys, we did good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Hey, you know what? When we got your bios and we were going to plug them in and everything, but I was like, you know what? This is a lot
Yeah,
to
it is. I
unpack
was like,
here.
they're gonna be like, what?
So, can you guys give us the
Tell
Reader's
people.
Digest version,
Okay.
the condensed version of, tell our viewers who you are and what you guys do, and and
Give
then
them a little
we'll-
backstory,
yeah,
then we'll get
a
into the
little
fun
backstory.
love stuff.
Ladies first.
It's so funny that you say that though, because when they construct this stuff right, I'm always a stickler at the many conferences, that we've attended with SAMHSA and all that.
Oh yes.
I did not like these very long bios. So the ones that we have, I thought they were pretty condensed, but I'm gonna have
It
to
was
get
a
with
lot.
her.
You know what?
And I'm
You guys
have to
have
get
But
with her.
it's a lot of information.
You guys
that-
have accomplished so much,
Yeah.
so it does. I mean, you
and
guys
it's
have
for
done
always
many
for somebody
things.
else to read. But
You guys have done a lot.
yeah.
That's what I was like. Glad when I saw what you did. I was like, ooh, because it mirrored, a lot mirrored what I did, and I was like, okay, doing things. All right.
We try.
Yeah.
We are here for the world. We have to live in our purpose.
You guys are wonderful.
So thank you. My career really started when I became an AmeriCorps member.
Mhm.
And I didn't even realize
AmeriCorps,
it.
that's a shout out, alumni, AmeriCorps
Yes.
alumni, yes.
We love AmeriCorps.
Yes.
Living in purpose, like making those changes in the world that other
Mhm.
people don't see, and having your hands in that, being a part of that. So that really just started my whole career.
Mm.
And it really started when I became a University of Louisiana Lafayette student. We were all together. We were just kind of like, hey man, you want to join AmeriCorps? Like, this is what they do, going into neighborhoods, revitalizing places. Yeah, I'm totally into that. Little did I know,
right?
right? Like you just be obedient. Just walk with God. He gonna lead you.
Mhm.
That
Opens so many
would
doors.
just open doors for me to become regional coordinator under SAMHSA, work with CDC. And then from there, President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act. And that's something that was really personal for me because growing up with my father, being a farmer, I saw him sacrifice for us to have. One of those things was healthcare.
I meant to tell you the other night. Thank you for calling that the Affordable Health
I know, because
Act.
people be like,
Yes.
Obamacare, like, stop it.
it.
It's not, you guys. You can say this, Affordable Care Act.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes. Please say it though. Yes.
Yeah. Because that's giving President Obama his propers on that. Because the other way it was meant in a very derogative term toward him
It
because they
was.
didn't think it was going to kick off.
Right.
And
Such a blessing.
I was director of I was from healthcare as well. And before I got into counseling, I was in sales and those things in healthcare. And I used to tell my people, I said, one girl come back talking about, oh yeah, I'm talking about Obamacare. I said, what? Yeah, I
What's
said,
that?
no, you can't go into
Right.
these, in a professional setting and say Obamacare.
Right.
I said, it's the Affordable Care Act.
That's right.
Thank you, Mom.
That's right.
And you're black, so you definitely
You need to know.
did not say it,
Right.
now under my watch.
Absolutely. I'm with you on
Yeah.
that. And that is why I intentionally said it. Even though, President Obama, he kind of embraced it, because
Right.
they would throw him some balls.
Oh,
and he was
they
just like,
would.
okay, I'll take it and I'll juggle it.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You know?
right.
I
We
still,
go low, we go high.
that's right.
I think it's
We
white
continue to do that.
Something like that.
Somebody.
All right, Michelle.
Yeah.
What you got, Kim?
Hashtag Michelle. Hashtag Michelle.
Well, the condensed version is pretty much I started off working, like anyone else would, jobs here. I always had a problem with making someone else rich.
Okay.
That was my biggest, it was a pet peeve.
Sure.
I hated it, absolutely hated it. So as time went, I had to do and still work like everybody else. Well, as time went, my brother and I talked about, my brother always wanted to be a truck driver, always did. So he told me that he wanted to open a trucking company. So I'm like, let's do it. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So he started.
Did you call it on him?
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So
Don't come to him with an idea.
He's
No
right.
fear at
He's
all.
gonna jump.
I have all kind of ideas. Some of them I keep them to myself. My brother, he bought him a pickup truck and a trailer, and he jumped in the oil field. Feet first. Yeah.
Wow.
And he started doing it. Then he came to me. He's like, man, I see all these truck, 18 wheelers. He said, let's try that. I'm like, cool, let's go. So my godfather, who's been driving, years and years. I think 50-something years he's been a truck driver. Yes.
Guys,
Yes.
what?
I think he's
What a
been married
blessing.
60 years and been driving 58 years. I'm not joking.
Order
Solid.
steps.
Yeah.
We
And
ordered steps. Right. Why am I?
right. And it's so crazy how the different businesses that evolved, some of it was based off of the people I know that lack education. They didn't have much education, but the things that they accomplished with the lack of book education they had was phenomenal. So he was like, man, y'all can do it. So we started a trucking company, started driving. Then talking to my father-in-law, who's always been a farmer all his life, was like, what about cows? And we always had an idea because we rode horses and, enjoyed that. So he's like, what about the cows? And I have cousins that have horses who can rope. And we're like,
Ooh, you hear that kid? No.
Oh, yeah.
No. Who can rope?
Yeah.
No, you better know.
yeah, he can rope. So we were like, well, okay, let's do that. So we did that. We did the cows.
Okay.
And then just to go back, why I got in real estate was because growing up, my mom on Saturdays, like a lot of my friends' moms, on Saturdays, you woke up, you did your chores, and you got out of the house. So in Churchmont, Louisiana, where I grew up, it was hot like everywhere else. So the library was a mile away from the house. I would jump on my bike and I would go there and stay there all day long.
Doing what?
Exactly. That's all it was air conditioning. So I would go in there and it just became a thing because my dad would work on Saturdays because he was a farmer at the time as well. So I was too young to go with him and I couldn't go really get a real job. So I had a few little yards I cut, but I would go there and read all day. And then in the summer I would read, not knowing it was something that was beneficial at the time. Yeah. I had some friends, they're like, where you going to the library? I'm like, yeah, it's cool over there. Because all our moms kicked us out. And then one of the things I noticed was over time, all the autobiographies and the biographies, everyone was in real estate. And I forgot about all that. So with the trucking company, we did well. With the cattle, we did well. And I was like, we need to transition some of this money to tax-free ways.
Yeah.
So
See,
so we got into real estate, and that's when
That's cool.
it took off.
Hey, for you younger viewers that don't know, so our Saturdays back in the day used to consist of waking up, turn on
He's watching Jackson 5 back then.
you watch the Jackson 5 or Fat Album or whatever, and then your mama
Chores,
coming in,
baby.
whatever you were watching, switch it off, turn on Soul Train, and then you also clean up the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can go.
Then you gotta get out.
That's
Yeah.
right. You gonna smell pine sol, bleach, and water, all those
Right.
good
Yeah.
cleaning
You know
By
products.
the time Soul Train was over, you was done with the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
But you
Oh,
know
yeah.
what's so funny? I remember, this is so funny. I was the only child, and I remember thinking I'm gonna cut to the chase because my friends were planning our stuff. We ride our bikes and everything, and so I'm like, okay, Friday nights. Let me see if I can get stuff done Friday night. So I remember putting a note up by the sink that was like, dishes need to be in right after dinner. Like, my dad was like, what? I was like, get this note off of here. But I was trying to,
Right, yeah.
like, I'm getting out early. I
Right.
have something to do. But I thought that's funny. But yes, chores were Saturday.
It
Vacuum
is.
and all that, dust and all that, clean it up,
Yeah.
sweep, mop. Then you can go play.
Yeah, mama didn't play.
Okay, I know we introduced you guys as power couples, but a power couple, I'm going to say, but we are a relationship show and love show. So, what's your love story? How did you guys meet?
Yes, tell them, because I mean, you got to see God's hand in this. We got to see how
it
this came
is.
about.
It was all his hand. So, right after my AmeriCorps tenure ended, someone who's related to my father distantly called him and said, "Hey, we have a position, pre-K preschool teacher, right?"
Mhm.
And so I had kind of flirted with that, I was like, I don't know. But it was basically, listen, go on this interview, you got it, because you have the experience. Okay.
Right.
So I'm there, I'm in Church Point, right? And so this cute little girl is in my class, Anya Ray Joseph.
Oh.
And all teachers know this.
Joseph.
I love that.
Last name sounds familiar.
It's powerful.
Well, out of all the kids, and it was 20 little kids in the class,
It's
preschool.
kindergarten?
This is
Oh,
preschool.
she's precious.
She was
they're
really
all
precious. So I remember, okay, why is this one child always gravitating to me? She just loved on me, and just her way, her little mannerisms and whatnot. I was just like, this little girl's a firecracker.
Right.
So,
Look, Shy Brothers. She said Shy Brothers, they go.
I said it in.
One day, Anya Ray did not have her homework checked. So I said, hey, I'm going to write a note to your mom and dad and see, what's happening here. So he comes to my classroom door the next day. And so I'm just looking at this tall stature in front of me, and I'm just like, okay, he's so cute.
What's the bubble above your head? What's the bubble above? What it say?
But I did not express that. I kept it strictly business, strictly professional.
Right.
Expressing to him how I need him, and he told me, how hard he worked and whatnot, and he will do a better job at checking Anya Ray's folder, and he was a single dad, and I'm like,
Yeah, I wanted her to say that.
There you go.
I wanted her to say that I was a single dad. It's not like I was
single
a
dad,
little floozy out there.
single dad doing this
And I
for
had
a
2.
3-year-old. Yeah,
Mm.
Ian was 1.
Right.
So Anya Ray's 3, and Ian is 1. My
And the 5
stepson-
businesses?
No, not yet.
He's
Not
killing
yet.
it. He's killing it. Who doesn't?
So
Had a lot of help from my family.
Yeah. It takes a village.
Yes,
It always takes a
indeed,
village.
yes.
And so, little did I know, I kept it professional, right? So he was already, we talked about this after, he's like, when I was looking at you, I was like, yes, that's going to be my wife. And so I didn't know this. So then I started seeing Mr. Joseph quite often. And
Sure the
Like,
folder
she
was
just
right.
wasn't checking her
Check the
folder on
folder.
purpose, girl. He wasn't checking the folder on
I was
purpose.
making sure the folder was right.
Get his apple to her.
I see your folder. Don't hand me a folder.
the bell would ring and Mr. Joseph's still in my doorway. So I'm just like, okay, well, I have to go now. And so time
Literally,
went-
that's what happened. Yeah, that's for real. That's what,
So she turned away from the door. Is he watching?
I know. We're at the divine moment. He's looking.
Oh yeah, we totally need to sell that story to Hollywood. We do. So time went on, and then he and I ended up meeting. It was like some band was playing. Was it Key Frank?
J. Paul.
J. Paul Jr., who's
Okay.
from Crosby, Texas. So we ended up crossing paths in there. I was out, ladies' night out, right?
Right.
But I was not drinking. I was like, I'm not drinking. It's just gonna be, they basically forced me out. I was like in my blanket, like not going out. So the girls were like, look, come out. You have to come out tonight. We're all going. It's gonna be fun. So I'm like, oh, okay. So whatever. I didn't even get jazzed up. You know how when you're ready?
Right.
I was just like, I'm gonna throw this on,
Right.
whatever.
Like, you ain't seen nothing yet if you think this is cute. You ain't seen me in my best.
Time had passed because now I was doing SAMHSA work, right? So I was not, because 1 year of teaching, I was like, I don't think this is for me.
Right.
So I see him. And so he comes over and he's like talking to all of us at the table. And so he asked for me a drink. And what did I say I wanted?
Uh-oh. Pop quiz alert.
She said she wanted Coke on the rocks. She wanted a
Coke,
Coke on the
a
rocks.
cola on the rocks.
Coke on the rocks.
I know you're like,
Yeah, that must
really?
have been
Is that a thing?
So I'm like, oh, okay. All
In
right.
a dirty glass.
Yeah.
Shaking that.
Hey, all right, okay.
So I get home And there's this strange number coming on my phone, and it's him. And so he begged one of my friends, I gotta get her number. And they were like, she has a rule. She does not like people giving her number.
The rules.
Yeah, the rules. You cannot be giving my number out unless I give permission,
So
right?
which girl gave you
The
my
difference
number?
was I already had it prior.
Ah.
I just lost
Right,
it
right.
because of Anya. You know, I had to
Right.
keep talking to the teacher,
Right.
make sure the photo was.
Doing it the
Gotcha.
right way.
Make sure the photo was intact.
Yeah, and I mean,
So he texted you that night? Is that what it was?
he called. He did not
Ooh, ooh.
text.
See that?
He called,
Courage.
and
I was nervous.
conversation was always great. Like
Yeah.
he penetrated my soul,
Yes,
you know,
Yes, indeed.
and you know, just did the right things. I started getting flowers at work and
Uh-oh.
lunch,
You
and
courted her.
he courted me.
Courting, bring the courting back.
Again,
Yes.
Because we're from down south. We
Right.
know about that.
Mhm.
That's
Correct. Yeah. I would
And that's
try.
how it should go.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
That's how it should go.
That's
And he
right.
teaches that to our son. Like he tells him, the lady is the prize.
Mhm.
You always remember that. Chivalry. Chivalry.
It's not the
Exactly.
thing. Yes, indeed.
That's right. He gives a very good example of that. I can't lie.
Good story. I love that.
Sound like me.
So yeah, you guys dated for like how long, and then what?
Oh my God. A long time we dated. Like
5 years.
yeah, 5
Wow.
years. And then
Were you guys getting yourselves together or something? What was why the
Pretty-
5 years?
How's it a
Pretty much.
plan?
it was my fault. Like he was ready
Uh-huh.
long before me. I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't give up that independence for a while. And then our mentor couple from New Orleans, Louisiana, they
Okay.
sat down with us and they were like, listen, y'all ready for this? God don't bless no mess, honey. We're going to get in
See?
this Bible
See there?
and you're going to listen and be obedient to what the
Yeah,
Lord
I
is
can,
saying.
I can talk to
That's
them
the
all
way
day
to-
long.
That is good.
That's the way to
They're
do it.
great
You,
mentors.
you know what? So
Everybody needs a mentor.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know we're counselors, and whenever we have a new couple, we always start our introductory session out with "What's your love story?" And nearly every guy, including myself, has said that's going to be my wife.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
And it's just
True.
I
That is so true.
yeah, every guy has said that's going to be my wife. Right. Now, how we treat them when we get them is a different
Right,
story.
right.
Which is why they're in counseling.
Training wheels.
But
we introduce ourselves.
That is something to be said,
Right.
because I mean I said it when we met. As soon as I saw a picture, I didn't see her. I saw her picture, and I said, "That's gonna be my wife."
Yeah.
You know.
So this is my
It's a-
blush face, you guys.
But it's just and ask any of your friends, or they probably came to you and said, "Man, I think I found my wife."
Right.
And so,
Right.
So guys do that,
yeah,
and you share it with your
happens.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've heard that with, like you said, with our
So
dates,
many
shared it with their
couples.
friends. Like, I
Yeah.
found my wife, man. And they'll call a friend and be like, I think I found her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So let me ask you this: so you guys have a blended family?
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, cut the story short, but so now you get married after
Mhm.
5 years.
Yep.
Blended family. How did that work out?
How's that going?
It came natural,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Well, especially with little mama, as cute as she was.
Well,
I know
yeah.
she was already like on
She
board.
was like, I knew.
She,
knew.
yeah,
I'm the one
she'll
that
tell
put-
you
I'm the
that.
one that put this
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
That's
I'm
exactly
the
what
one-
she
y'all
says.
got me,
That's
you know?
exactly what she says.
She
say
does.
that.
She
If
does.
it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a daddy.
Yeah,
Oh, right? Like,
yeah. She
So that
she
bike
said.
in
So all the
window?
dinners I paid for and the flowers, that had nothing to do with you.
Not at all.
I was paying for that.
See, you was shy.
Right.
You played this game called Shy
Right.
Brother, and I came in on your behalf.
Right.
And so the interesting fact is that when we sat down and had our family conversation of what we want our family to look like,
ooh, I love it. Yes.
he presented it to the kids. He said, okay, sometimes I hear y'all call her Miss Val. Sometimes I hear y'all call her Mama because your little sister, we have Lyric together,
Yeah.
calls her Mom.
Such a
So,
cool name, especially moving to Houston.
well, yeah,
JC's lyric.
that is another story
That's
because,
exactly what the name
JC, you can't say everybody.
oh yeah, that's another story. Bookmark that.
All right.
We're going to talk about that.
Y'all
Why
gotta
we
come over for dinner because we be here all day. They're like, show America.
why we named her Lyric is a story.
Okay.
But he told him, choose what you want to call her, and that's where we're going to be consistent in it. And so both of them said, Mom. And
Wow.
Easy peasy.
easy peasy, and I said, are you sure? Because
Mhm.
I am not Mom. but I don't have a problem with you all calling me that.
Yeah.
And so both of them were like, yes,
We're sure.
We're sure.
Yeah.
We're
She
sure.
probably regretted that because everything now, mom.
Oh.
Yeah, to have that word coming from three different angles.
Warms my heart.
So
precious.
with them attaching to you so quickly, I mean, they must have
Effortlessly,
seen the same
effortlessly.
thing that Kensel saw in you.
I guess.
How were you feeling? Because you're like mom instantly of 2, and then you guys had your 3, so it was like instant.
I was careful, because I didn't want to like take up
I don't wanna mess
spaces.
this up, Yeah.
But he was so good being, that in charge dad. And just like we are on one accord. So if she's punishing, I'm backing her.
Mhm.
And
United front.
that's right.
Mhm.
And so there was really no disagreements from us in regards to step parenting. Like it wasn't really step parenting because we said this is our family. We are
It's
parenting.
bonus family.
That's
Bonus.
it.
It's a blessing.
That's it. And us just being on one accord. So like
Sure.
if I was having a little bit of problems, we'd always wait till they go off to school.
Right.
Me and him, we would talk, and he's like, "Okay, you don't take that one. I'm gonna take that one if I get home." And
Really?
Tag
it's
team, yeah.
tag team, because kids
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
So
Oh,
we have blended families that we counsel, and this is something that they need to hear.
Mhm.
What are some of the challenges of having a blended family, especially when you've had no children of your own? And this obviously before Lyric, but because you had no children, and then now you're all of a sudden not just wife, but mommy.
Mommy to the third power.
Right.
Well, one of the things we saw, it was kind of simple towards the end, was interference of outside sources,
Okay,
other family members.
Yeah.
That was more of a problem.
that's common.
Yeah, and that was more of the problem.
Right.
But that's what I saw. Within the house, to me, it was kind of the same,
Yeah.
because I look at all 3 of them as
Just
mine.
as-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not any different to me. I know with her it would be different somewhat, but it really wasn't that much.
Mhm.
I saw where she was equal to all of them. If anything, she make excuses for the others versus
Yeah, I was
Lyric.
really hard on Lyric.
Yeah, and she make excuses for the others, and it worked out pretty well.
Did you feel that you were harder on Lyric because that's your biological
Mhm.
child?
I did. I
It's
still.
polite. We're kind of polite. Like
I gotta set an example with you so they'll know.
Yes. And I didn't have that infiltration of other people's opinion. I
Mhm.
was considerate that his family they helped,
Okay.
and so what would that look like? But he was always like, I don't care what anyone else says. This
Right.
is what
Exactly.
we're doing.
And that's the
because
thing.
that's your family.
That's
That's
right.
your household.
That's right. And
That's
that's what you do, because really and truly people will think, oh, they don't have this. They need our help. It's like, no, we got this. And so as long as you stand firm, other people will be like, okay, other families like, well, look at you. They respect it.
Right.
Right.
So-
So
respect it,
I guess,
right?
I
That's
guess you were
right,
happy
they do.
because you were a single dad having to do hair. Right?
Oh, I know. You're safe. You're free.
The hair is what made me
That's-
kind of hone in that. I think something's going on.
Yeah.
Mama's gonna get it. We're gonna get that ponytail right.
Let's get some
Ponytails
ribbon.
were crooked. She talking about, Daddy, there's a hump, and we still talking
Uh-huh.
about that hump in her hair. I'm like, baby, that's in. Daddy, no, it's not. I'm like, how you know it's in? You in preschool. But my mama would come, baby, that's wrong.
That's just wrong. on
That's
so many
wrong.
levels.
That's wrong, Kissa. Sitting like this.
Shoot.
Wow.
So perfect.
So you guys, now you're married, now you have instant family and all. When did the businesses start coming in?
Yeah.
And
You throw that in the spin washer. It's like, okay, we got the kids going now. We're going to throw some businesses in here.
It happened, to say it on a lighter note, I was in law enforcement, and my law enforcement career ended because of corruption and politics. That's that's a condensed version of
In
it.
Louisiana?
right.
Yes, in
Yeah, we
Louisiana.
know. Yeah.
And
In Louisiana, historically.
I
Yeah.
still have some great friends in law enforcement. Love them to death.
Aren't you grateful to be free?
Somewhat I
There's a
am.
pressure in being in law.
Yeah, that's
Woo,
the
man.
main thing. But the
Mhm.
helping people part was, I think, part of who I am, I guess.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I did enjoy it. But after that happened, I was in the oil field and didn't really enjoy that. Wasn't in love with it. So then I was laid off. And when we first started the transportation company, we only had one truck, which my brother drove, and he worked his butt off. I give all props to him. He worked his butt off.
So you were the logistics guy at that point?
Right. I
I
was.
love how you mentioned your brother. You guys are tight. That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
there's
That's my-
sibling rivalry. There's something to be said when brother and sister, or brother and brother, or, you know, siblings are tight.
They look
There's nothing
like
you can't do.
twins,
Yeah,
but there
really
is a
bad.
6-year age difference.
6 years.
Wow.
6
And they
years.
fight because Kenzo is shorter than him. He is a little
That's
taller.
what we've never has not been confirmed. They say,
Hadn't been confirmed.
yeah.
We got the ruler.
No.
It has been confirmed.
And she's proud to report.
Put the
She's
marks
like,
on the wall.
Right. So
just a little.
he
green
worked,
eye.
and then I was supposed to learn to drive the 18-wheeler because I didn't have my CDL yet, so I was still in the off field. Well, it's crazy how dates, like, you know, marriages and birthdays you remember. Well, March 11th, I was laid off in the off field. March 18th, we bought our second truck.
Oh, wow.
We only had
7 days later, them numbers
Later.
again.
Yeah.
we only had
Oh, and
one
the kingdom,
CDL driver,
baby.
which was my brother.
Okay.
So my brother, who can be frantic sometimes, he's like, who's gonna drive the second truck? I said, me. He said, you don't have your CDL. I said, I'm gonna get it.
Mhm.
He said, how you know? I said, I don't have a choice. I'm late. I was laid off March 11th. March 18th, we bought a second truck. April Fool's Day, I got my CDL. Like about 3 weeks and a couple of days later, I got my CDL.
Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
are you pranking me? Like the
Right.
the logistics guy
Right.
got the CDL.
Yep. So I was able to get my CDL, and then now we
Plus, he had been training you, right?
pretty much,
Yeah.
and my godfather too.
Okay.
My godfather, I smoke cigars, and my godfather smoked cigars and
Mhm.
cigarettes a lot. So we were in the rural area because I had my permit just going in around. And I was shifting. He was bucking and bucking. He's like, I can't smoke my cigar. He put it down. I was nervous because it was so
Sure,
big.
Sure.
Right. But being with my dad, with the horses and all the other stuff, I knew how to back up and all that. So
Mhm.
it wasn't hard for me to get my license. Well,
Yeah.
he and I, my brother, we start driving.
It's always
driving.
Doing it,
opposite.
huh?
Right,
Yeah,
pretty much.
always
It
opposite.
sounds like you did it already.
I haven't done that, but I
Yeah.
have, mulch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, and then my father-in-law, who's been a farmer all his life, like I stated, he started talking to us about cattle, and
Mhm.
he also was thinking about getting some trucks and 18-wheelers, and he was nervous. And finally, I was like, well, his name is Danny. We call him D.
Okay.
I'm like, D, just get him. He's like, okay, all right. You think so? I'm like, you can be fine. So he gets one, I has two. So
Yeah, they were just exchanging.
Yeah.
Like the whole dynamic was just an exchange of one sharing the other one's resources and growing something
Wow.
bigger than what they imagined.
Right. I didn't even
Wow.
envision this. So
You get so excited too, you can't even sleep because you're
Right.
thinking, your mind's just going.
God.
You know, I know.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
And so I don't mean to jump from
No,
you
no,
to
sure.
you to you.
It's so
But
much. You guys are
it's-
trying to
it's-
unpack it
it's-
for you
yeah.
in the time that we have.
So this is the building of a dynamic power couple.
It's
as
called
you guys
Empire.
can see. So to you, Val, we were talking the other night, and then you mentioned a few things that was close to our heart and stuff with economic development and community involvement and things like that
Yeah.
in the East Houston area.
Yes.
So can you give us a
Please.
snippet of what's going on with that? Because we really want to promote this for those residents of East Houston, as well as those commissioners in Houston,
Yes.
whomever that needs to hear this to start, I won't say funneling, but start contributing
Right.
monies to your cause.
And before you
Absolutely.
start, I want you guys to listen. I hope that you've been really paying attention and in tune to how they are in their purpose and how you can tap into yours. Don't be afraid. Take that leap, that jump. Tell
Right.
us about your leap.
Purpose. That's it. Because
Mhm.
not everybody's journey is going to look the same.
Exactly.
We're all called for something unique
It's like
and
your
individual.
fingerprint, right? It's
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's art.
Absolutely.
Individually your own.
Absolutely. So I am now the Director of Resource Development with East Harris County Empowerment Council.
Yeah.
And yes, I graciously accepted. I was a little nervous about that,
Yes,
but
shoes.
listen, I believe in being obedient to where God is leading you. So East Harris County, what does that look like? Okay, let's not think of Baytown. Let's think of Sheldon.
Okay.
Let's think of Channelview. Let's think of Galena Park, North Shore, Cloverville.
And you
know?
guys,
Those
I'm
areas
from
that were never
California,
developed.
as you know, so I don't know all the places she's talking about, but I'm listening. I'm just
And
gonna
she's
tell you.
and she's not from here either. So
I'm
But
not.
She knows
you
more
know?
about it.
But I know what it's like to be in a community that lacks resources.
Are these small towns? Are these small cities? What is this?
Unincorporated areas?
Oh, okay.
Well, Jacinto
Yeah,
City,
yeah,
Galena Park, they have, representation, they have mayors, but the rest they're unincorporated. So, that falls under Judge Lena Hidalgo.
Yes, I love
She's
her.
great.
Yes.
She
Shout out to
is.
you, Judge
Yes.
Lena.
She's a rock star.
She is. That's it right there. Yes, she is.
But looking at the Houston metropolitan area, when people, fundraise money, when people bring in resources, they tend to only think of what's inside
Houston.
610.
Mhm.
And so
Houston proper.
that's it. Houston proper. People don't think what's outside of 610.
People
And
get left
that's
out.
East Harris County, that's over 200,000 residents that are oftentimes forgotten.
But they're
Over-
taxpayers.
Taxpayers, median income around 51,000.
Mhm.
So we're not talking about people who are not, contributing, but
Contributing.
all those different types of,
Yes.
things that they could say derogatory. These are working, contributing taxpayers, right? And so it's not a matter of if something disastrous happens, it's when.
When.
I mean, look
Oh,
where we
God, yeah,
live
look,
with the
yeah.
hurricanes.
Yeah.
Sure.
We just had a plant
Floods and
explosion,
yeah,
a
yeah.
fire. We had Uri,
freeze and
snowstorm,
everything.
right? We just
Mhm.
thinking a little snow, a little ice, and
Ice storm. Yeah.
ice storm. So this area has all the potential that could be channeled into becoming a sustainable community. Because in the past, it's kind of been, the same thing, wave a flag, wait for someone to recognize us and help us. And so, it's always changing that narrative. It's always doing better, making that change towards improving an area.
Awareness.
Going back, Affordable Care Act. What was that unmet need? So many people without access, without that health care that they needed, right? And so all of these people, still to this day, you have thousands of people without plumbing because plumbers are backed up.
Yeah.
They're waiting on people to rescue them. They're waiting on, and middle income people. I mean, people that just listen. I've just been hit with disaster after disaster,
Right,
and
no
I'm
emergency
tapped
fund,
out.
no- yeah, absolutely.
I'm tapped out.
So what are you doing though?
So we are going to soon be launching a campaign.
Woohoo!
I live where I give. And it is going to be for the
That's
East
rich.
Harris County residents that listen, $10. That just cut one trip to Starbucks, cut off one
Right.
little trinket we get at Target when we go in there and we
They
buy
don't
stuff
even
we
need to
don't
go
need.
in there for that.
Yeah. If those 200,000 people contribute each $10, they are sustaining themselves when there's water that needs to be distributed, when there's food that needs to be distributed, when they need plumbers to come out, when seniors need someone to go out and check on them, because we
Right.
unfortunately had
Wheelchairs.
seniors who died and no one even knew.
Wow. During the
The freeze.
freeze.
Had it not been for the constables sending out their people to go and check, because there's this great program, Charlotte Jackson, shout out to her, she's amazing. She's like the queen of the East Side. Her and her people, they went out. Had they not been able to go knock on these doors, who would have found these seniors?
Wow.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah, it does.
You
Yeah,
know?
it does.
So they have all of the potential to be sustainable communities, not waiting for someone to come and rescue them. And so we need these people that are in these powerful positions to support this endeavor, because we have got to start putting the funds properly allocated into the areas and stop leaving out these people. I'm going to be that voice, and I have my people. We are going to get this. We're
Okay,
going to
so
be the
wait.
voice for these people.
Okay, so I cheated because when I was doing the rapid fire, that's why I was wondering, 'cause she had this plan, and I'm like, this squad or solo? Do you have people with you on this, or is this like, this is my platform, I'm going for it?
This-
Have you had this conversation with others to start?
We
you know.
have. We have. The executive director is Terrence Narcissus. So he is like the brainchild behind this. And when he and I were like just in our think tank session, we were just adding in layers and layers. And the thing about
So
East Harris County, you have a lot of people that are committed to their community. We released this URI assessment survey that went out to them electronically. Now, it doesn't capture the data from those who did not have access to internet, but an overwhelming response said that they want to give back to their community. They just do not know how.
Which I love that slogan, I give where I live.
Mhm.
And this is what Love
That's
and
it
Black
right
is
there.
all about.
It
We
is, you
tell
guys.
everyone that being in the Black means having your love and the positive.
And your
And
life.
when you have your love and the positive, that means you're taking care of others as well.
Yeah, it's not just
And-
romantic love, it's love. That's the Lord.
Right.
I mean, and
right.
that's where I'm looking at. So, okay, you guys are saying this East Texas. What is it you said?
East
Wayne
Harris County.
Yeah.
So when I was like connecting the dots with us, I was East Contra Costa County.
Really?
California. Yeah, it's insane. And then SAMHSA, you had what you were doing SAMHSA. I was over Northern California, underage
So-
drinking prevention
Yes.
of alcohol and tobacco.
Yes.
So I'm like, wow. And then AmeriCorps, I worked for the Office of the President of California. And so we had programs that we were just like projects, we were just rolling out. Homes for Habitat
Mhm.
to pop up after school program. I mean, so much stuff. So when I saw that
Pragmatic responses to everyday needs.
everyday needs, and when I
Meeting
saw
the
that,
needs
that's
of
why I was
the
like, oh, we're supposed to meet. Like, this is gonna eat at me if I don't do something like this. Because it's just how often do you find that?
I know.
So
I know.
it's really good to, iron sharpens iron, and we wanted to give you guys this platform. You doing this, when do you like roll out with this? Are you concerned like somebody else is gonna be like, well, I'm gonna run against her? You know what I mean? What are you
One
thinking
thing
right
is
now?
anything to run
Is
against.
it something that you run, or you just do it? You just go to
No,
these
we're
people
just
and appeal
doing
to
it.
them?
You know, like United Way. To kind of give a little analogy,
I work
like
with
United
United
Way, right? I have too. And so United Way, great, right? Great. Love what they do. You know,
Mhm.
there's the United Way of Greater Houston. There's the Baytown United Way. But what about a United Way for all of
They
these
have no
people?
representation.
They have East Harris County.
So it
and
would be
East
the
Harris County
national. It's
is going to be it's going to be like that region of Harris County.
Mhm.
They're supported. They are going to be stewarded by East Harris County Empowerment Council.
Okay.
And so these funds that are going to be there are going to be like that capital campaign that just sustains that community, because historically there was nothing. And now there is going to be something. I have named it and I'm claiming it. We are going to have this. And so there will be no more waving of a flag, sitting, waiting for someone to come in a boat to rescue. They will save themselves.
Self-empowerment. Yep.
That's it. That's empowerment.
Absolutely.
That is empowerment.
Yes.
You know, Kensel and I talk about this all the time, the difference between just giving fish and teaching someone to
Like you
fish,
fish.
Mhm.
and giving people access to a pond to go fish, and looking at, do they have enough stock in that pond as we've had to go fishing?
Absolutely.
And so it's those layers that you have to unfold to really address unmet need issues. And you can do it in a pragmatic
So
way.
all those things you just mentioned in your analogy are resources.
That's the
Correct.
resource.
Well, and so now you understand what makes them a dynamic couple, right?
Yeah.
And a power couple, and just like off the charts, just awesome. So here's the thing: how are you guys managing a family and all of these purpose-driven projects? Like, it's so first of all, they're living it out loud with their kids, so their kids know you don't have a choice. You are going to live a phenomenal life.
They
I
better.
mean, because you guys are watching them, and we always say your marriage is your child's classroom, so they know that even when they pick partners, like you better be doing about at least what I'm doing.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
because you guys are steamrolling. I mean, how do you manage? Do you guys literally have like those little cute chalkboards in the kitchen? It's like pick up so and so at 5, go to the grocery store.
All of their
Because it's time management. You cannot do what you guys are doing without time management. What does that
Right.
look like?
She's the one for the family, and I'm the one for the businesses. So that's
Okay.
pretty much it.
Mhm, mhm.
My daughter and I talk all the time where she's task oriented, task driven.
okay.
You give her a task, she's gonna do it. Me, I'm kind of sometimes it's like I'm driven for that, and then okay, that's done. Did that? Oh, I forgot to do this, and that's usually how I go. But I get other people to help me and assist. Help is great.
Yes, it is.
That's the
Yes,
plus.
it is.
You know, yeah, having help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and acknowledging that you need the help.
Mhm. Say that. 'Cause that's a mental health thing.
Yes.
That really
Yes.
is. Don't try to take everything on. And
Yes.
if you're able to bless somebody else to have them come
Correct.
apart and start to,
Correct.
empower and ignite them, then that's a good thing.
One thing I
That's
learned
what
is in
like.
order to grow your dream, you have to make everyone else comfortable that they can be a part of.
Mhm.
Exactly.
You can't grow
We
your dream
feel
by
the
yourself.
same way.
Right, yeah.
Sure.
Hey, I have one more question, and then we're gonna quickly move into our letter,
I forgot about it. Letter.
I
So
know,
busy
right?
talking.
and then we're gonna go to commercial, and then we're gonna go to the letter. But give our viewers a couple of fun facts, or just one fun fact about the names of your company.
Oh yes.
Well, Vail Investments is the acronym for my wife and my kids, which is V is for Vail, A is for Anya, E is for Ian, and L is for Lyric.
Yeah.
And then Leah Couriers is L is for Lyric, E is for Ian, A is for Anya. Nah, I created all this and there's no cake nowhere.
Right.
All for the
Oh,
family.
you gotta do
Brainchild,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brainchild
Something
of
for
it all.
you.
So,
You could probably surprise him with something.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff in your brain too. There's something you can name after
I
him.
do. I know. My brain travels. What do we say? 100 miles
Oh,
a minute.
God.
Yeah, I
As
gotta slow
Tyler Perry
down.
says, her brain is literally like a herd of cattle running.
Mm.
And she just on the mountain trying to lasso one. Because it's just, we'll be talking about something and she's like, but what about this?
It's like herding cats.
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just a teeny bit.
Exactly.
We do it. I know the same thing with me, and I had to have a talk with myself. Like, look, you got to take this brain the whole distance of your life.
Right.
You got one.
I like
Right.
that one.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
Hey, we're going to go to commercial and we'll be right back.
Don't go away. We got our letter though.
Lovin' Black with Tory and Teri is officially live across Apple Music, Spotify, and iHeartMedia platforms. At Lovin' Black with Tory and Teri, we cultivate positive love conversations, which means that your love is always in the positive. Join us as we discuss marriage, relationships, and singles topics, as well as answer your letters on air. To be a guest on the show, advertise, sponsor, or submit a topic, email us at loveandblack1@gmail.com. Find us by typing Love and Black with Tory and Teri in your preferred media platform. We now return to Love and Black with Tory and Teri.
Hey, and welcome back to Love and Black with Tory and Terry. Man, we've had an awesome conversation here, and we're almost out of
Beautiful. Look at
time,
they're
but we
beautiful.
are going to get to our letters so we don't be remiss in addressing one of our viewers' needs here. So I'm going to jump right into it. Dear Tory and Terry, I have trust issues from my past, and it's causing tension in our 3-month marriage. My husband wants a divorce already. How can I learn to trust him even when I know he's done nothing wrong? My past relationships keep coming into play and popping up in my head, and I just can't get over how much I was betrayed in the past. Are all of my relationships doomed to fail? Wow. So we're gonna jump into this real quick. Power couple, what you guys say
I
about
think
trust
as the
issues?
writer, she needs to let it go. You can't bring in baggage to a new place. And people say that, the old cliche, but it's the truth.
No, it's that we're counselors. We know we see it every day.
You see it a lot.
It's definitely
It's such the truth. It's hard not to do it.
You start out thinking
Correct. I'm fine. And
those triggers.
if the new partner does anything similar to the other partner, like saying, "Hey, I'm going to the store," and that the other partner needs to say
Red
that and lie.
flags pop up.
Exactly. There's
Right.
nothing there.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. It would definitely be to do that self-reflection and seek that counseling, because that's really like, listen, I know old school people I go to church. I don't need no counseling.
Yeah.
Therapy works.
That was one of your rapid fire questions. I was like, that's okay. It was like prayer or counseling, but yeah,
Both.
absolutely.
Actually,
Absolutely.
our counseling is open to we're I Forever Will Christian marriage counseling, but it's open to everyone, right? But we have a lot of either Black, Hispanic, or interracial couples, right? And it's so funny because before we got into counseling when we were in school now, it was like, well, Black people don't do counseling.
Mhm.
Well, we can't tell, and we appreciate the business,
That's right.
So,
I just want to offer something to my sister. Let me just say this to you. There's no monster under the bed, baby. There is not. And what you have to do is you have to make up your mind that you deserve love, you're worthy of love, you're wonderfully made, and that you can have this, and you give your all to it. I think that with everything, we're supposed to give our all.
Yeah.
God has filled you up with love. So you are a loving being, and you can go ahead and you can spread that with your husband and just, appreciate the gift of it. Not everybody gets an opportunity. And so allow yourself to let go with that. And if you're having the struggle of even making that first step, then seek counseling. My husband and I are marriage counselors. You guys can do it together. Or you can also even seek me, ask Teri Lynn, and I can work with you. I do have a program I do with women it's called Life, and it'll prepare you to just let go and love yourself through all of it, the good and the bad. You have you. That's where your power lies.
I just want to say, hey, you have to be open and honest in your relationship. You have to communicate with your spouse and let him or her know about these past issues, these things that you're bringing into the relationship, those red flags that you're looking for that aren't there. So, what's sad is that when they are there, you really don't notice them because you're too busy looking for things that have hurt you in the past. So work on your self-esteem. Like my wife just said, get counseling. You have to get counseling because the therapy is going to help you just take away those things that, that was prevalent in the relationship, your previous relationships, and help you to work through those issues.
Yeah, the past is the past. Leave it there. Don't live there. You can go ahead and pray with your husband. Ask him to pray with you on it. Lift it up in prayer, on your knees. Expose that. Expose that enemy that's trying to attack your marriage and go ahead and pray on it. And then you pray yourself. I'm telling you, you can do this. You can do this. And you deserve the happiness.
And this person isn't alone. Like I think a lot of people we tend to take in what we've experienced in our past, right? We take in what our parents gave to us, and they didn't know. People just do what they know. That's it.
And I tell people this all the time: when you're divorcing or getting out of a relationship, you have to grieve that relationship. You have to put it to bed. You have to act like that relationship has literally died. Right. And now we have to go on, and we have to do these things to put us in a better mental space.
Onward and upward.
Yeah. So is that your closing argument?
That is my closing argument.
Pretty much the same. Yes,
right. Maybe you got anything?
Nope, that's it.
All right. So just like you can't rush love, you can't rush trust either. Trust is something that's earned and not given. So when you get to the point where you feel you can openly communicate with your partner without having to worry, where you can be yourself, be confident, be vulnerable about what it is that you're feeling and thinking, then he'll start to understand, or she'll start to understand. I'm talking to the letter writer though. So again, counseling should always be considered to get past any issues of trust that you're having and improving your self-confidence and confidence in your relationship. So we thank you guys for coming on again.
Thank you for having us.
How can the people reach you about the East Harris County initiative you have going on?
Yes, they can definitely visit us on web, ehcec.org. Listen, give me an email, vsenegal@eastharriscounty.org. Or if you want to call me, hey, I love a good chat. 281-712-8267.
Good. And Council, anything coming up
Go
with
ahead
the real
and
estate?
plug.
I really want to hear about the real estate thing.
Well,
you guys are coming to dinner. That's just that.
dealing with the real estate. We buy mom and pop apartment complexes in tertiary markets, and we rehab them and put tenants in them, and then we move on to the next. So that's primarily what we do. It's primarily what I focus on now. So we're really plugging into that. Eventually, in the future, we'll probably syndicate and get other investors, but now it's just she and I.
No problem. Nothing
You
wrong
can
with
use that
that.
number for that.
Nothing wrong with
I
that.
do the aesthetic stuff. So
Right,
I have that
That's
vision
fine.
to know what.
Joanna?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Even though she was with AmeriCorps, I hear this story every now and then. But whenever we at a construction site, she never comes.
Really?
No, she don't come to the construction
It's
site.
so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like,
You get your boots and your hard hat.
I told her that. She's like, no.
I go, I bring lunch, and I say, okay, but is this color going to be white or black? Or I think it needs to be that. And I make my
pretty much.
I work. That is work.
Sure.
That's it.
We could do
Anyway,
this all day, you
I
guys.
know.
We really are glad that you were able to join us tonight. As you can see, they were definitely a treat. We'll see you next Friday. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Make love, not war. Have a good night.
See you next week.